Hello there, my name is PolishLynx. Welcome to Raising Angel Fate's Allegiance again with Suri now. Apparently, let's see what's going on the Nimross. This is boring. That's fine. I'm content with being a boring person. Boring means normal, and normal means my life isn't trying to destroy itself. But if you're normal is chaos, would that not mean being boring would be being abnormal? Shut up, please. I just want things to become semblance of what a normal crew has to deal with on normal missions. Forgive me, my lady. And stop that as well. I'm going to find it in your program. You can remove that word. Sorry, me lady. It's my lady. You always told me it was Major Hackett. Now it's my lady? He's indeed my lady. I wait for the usual. It's Commander Hackett, but for some reason it doesn't come. Instead he just lowers his head and goes back to reading over the user manual for Hendrix. His attitude towards lizard brain Suri normally drives him crazy, but I need something to distract me right now. Something to keep my mind off of her, even if that means being insulted by a racist jerk. But he isn't willing to play today, so I go back to practicing my stances. I should even be practice up here. Commander Razona barred me from doing it, and it was one of the few times Sol agreed with her. Control is the key of being a good warrior foe. Let passion empower your strikes. Passion gives you the strength behind your blows, but it is discipline that should aim them and honor to release the strike. Then why did I let myself say those things to her? For a fleeting moment in my heart, I let passion take over and wish the same fate Akurel suffered onto Natalie. Aku, my cowardice left you to die. I left you behind to a cage instead of me. I abandoned a true warrior to slavery, and now I'm abandoning another piece of my heart. No. We will never raise brain. Natalie isn't a warrior. She gave the crystal to that woman. That's not the honor of a warrior. That is the callous behavior of a scholar. She wanted to walk a path I could not follow. That's that. Nothing more. Nope. Nada. No way. I've had the same conversation every time I tried to empty my mind and perform my stance that I got an order established for which words for no I use in which order. But the words don't remove the hollow feeling in me. I'm supposed to be empty while performing stances, but hollow and empty are apparently different things. I wish I could take my tail and beat the empty ringing of my heart out. Why can't I have problems that a warrior could solve? My dear, are you feeling alright? I'm fine. I just think I accidentally pulled the elven version of the user manual. Do a lot of elves by sex robots. My model is quite popular with the Trilani Rangers, but my lady, I was not referring to you. I was showing concern for Lieutenant Suri. Me? You seem quite stressed and your outstretched hand is shaking. With your pardon, my lady, I know of a good tea that will help calm the nerves. Yeah, go get it. By your leave. Suri, is everything alright? Everything better. Feed us fiddle. Do you even know what a fiddle is? Nope. Then why use it as a simile? For all you know, it means you are high-strung. Which I guess isn't too far from the truth either. But yeah, I'm physically fit. Suri, I work with you enough to know when you are trying to lie while avoiding lying. What about you? Isn't it rude to ask about someone else without saying how you are first? It's not, but I'll play along. I'm not doing well, Lieutenant Suri. In fact, I'm doing as well as everyone else who is in a Nimross crewman. Fit as fiddle. He's straightening up, the lounging posture reverting to his usual uptightness. I've got a feeling I'm getting another talking to for something that isn't my fault. No, Lieutenant. He's using my rank multiple times. It's going to be a long one. The doctor should be back in a couple of minutes. I know you don't trust him, but he could probably tune you up. Her. The person I will talk with is sitting right from me. While I'm upset in the circumstances that caused you to be pulled, I'm happy with the result. I told you that I was going to start paying attention to the sensor data instead of my wings. What more do I have to do for you to trust me, Commander? That's a good question, and it is one that I've been working hard to find a good way to get that answer from you. That sounds kind of perverted. I'm going to abuse your authority. Are we done? You're normally derailed at this point. Because I generally don't care enough about my main points compared to correcting your behavior. Not today, not now. When I reported back to Fleet Command about our last operation, they were not happy. It would be fair to say that if Alfonsi and myself has not been quick on our feet, we all would be flight officers if we were still in the space sector at all. Command agreed with me that we shouldn't have handed over the crystal. They were as pleased with the result as I was. But they got their stupid rock and not. No. No, I wouldn't feel this bad if I hadn't. Intelligence sector got everything they wanted. They got their crystal away from the Rowdies and completed their mission. Case closed. But what did space sector get? A ship with a nasty repair bill for broken crystals and not patrolling for months. Not only that, but that senior officer who was overthrown by an intelligence officer, a quartermaster who committed mass fraud at the behest of another officer, and a crew who was basically worthless. Commander Russell left a final report. I thought she never noticed all the slop on the ship, but she apparently did, and I heard it. Aren't you happy? You finally got all the validation about how terrible we are? Not in the slightest. Sorry, I never once filled any of those reports on the lack of discipline or acts of assault on me. My lips were sealed, no matter how much I said I was going to do it. Huh? Why? I hope I could change you all. I hope that one day you all would come around and I have made the officer that I knew all could be. Even us mutant monsters? Commander, I get you thought you had the best inclinations, but nobody's going to ever follow a leader who doesn't understand them. Kika might have thought you were okay, but with all due respect, the rest of us think you're a racist jerk who doesn't care about us. You keep saying that Kylie should have followed your example, but you never once got to know her or her dreams. She dreamed of being a fighter pilot. Alfonsi dreamed of going back to his home and being the priest of those spirits he worships. Basically grows flowers in her wall locker. Kika just wants to be someone's hero. Yeah, maybe I still have a hard time adapting to working with non-humans. It's hard. Keeping all prejudices out of my words. It's not possible. I will never quite accept this white universe I have to live in. But don't ever assume for a moment I'm not trying. A warrior doesn't try. A warrior does. Perhaps it doesn't even matter. We are all on the cutting block. Admiral Blotty made it perfectly clear that our time with the Force is short. Kylie might not even keep her job long enough to make it to the hearing. Even though we succeeded, only 2 people made it out with their cars strengthened. Natalie, who is now looking at getting colonel position, and one other person. He knows. Sorry, Razon's report was just as scathing about the secret officer who clung to the Saito. You were central to the coup as well. You should have been in just as much trouble, if not more, for your association with Natalie. But you've got a cushy command position of the carrier secret force awaiting you after this. Choice spot, really. I didn't know that. I just know I put in a transfer twin position away from Natalie and it got approved. You're a bad liar, Zuri. I honestly didn't know. I accepted the diversion statement, but I didn't know where you were going, but you knew you'd get approved. You knew it would be somewhere your career could continue. You got promoted out of this. Temporarily, I'll lose it when we replace the whole crew at the end of this patrol. They told me as much. I'll be lucky to fly ever again. Maybe Nat did something. I trust you with my best friend's heart. I thought you two were the perfect pair. If you used her, if you used my crew, I will. You'll what? So glares at me for several long 10 seconds before collapsing back into his chair and burying his head into his hands. Nothing. He'll get away scot-free and everyone will pay the price. Even Natalie. So, Commander Hackett, if this is my final ride, I want to enjoy it while I can. So, I give my word that I never wanted any of this. Breaking everyone was my duty. It was one I loved. It was her. Even after all these years, she's still trying to make amends with me for the sins we committed. It was Natalie. Of course not, Sarah. Sol lifts his face out of his hands and I can see the color faded out of his features. He knows that name. If he does, he knows what it means. Why I am spared punishment. Sora Deutsche. I slowly nod, wishing I could deny that name. Then now in my past. There are some things I cannot do for. Lies I will never speak, since I can never wash clean. No matter how hard I try, I will never be a true warrior with them tainting my heart. Sora Doshu, current director of the intelligence sector, daughter of a famous governor, Sora Doshu is renowned for her brazen attitude and conduct. Rumor has it that she maintains her position by unsavory tactics and immoral acts. This is all that Kylie's update gave me. Forgive me, my lady, for not giving you more than that and this cup of tea. Thank you. I take the tea with shaking hands. I thought I had outrun it, but I was fooling myself. Every day will be a reminder, every mission test of my determination. I read your history, a former athlete, raced in a couple of Planet Olympics but never got a gold medal. My wings are too big, they slowed me down. Then you joined the Katajion Defense Force as Special Force Officer. After a rising career, you were part of a certain organization. What organization was that? You can read it. You were a Special Investigation Tactics Officer, just like Natalie is now. But that's where things get odd. When I searched this record, it shows her stations on the Nimross and her runner post. But you, it's all missing. Not a single thing about what you did, where you were, and what ranks you held other than your highest one. Commander of the Wings 3. Am I right in assuming you were once not only a Saito but a rather important one? For 20 years you were a Saito, that's almost as long as the organization existed. Then you suddenly appear as a regular old security officer 10 years ago, nothing more than a lieutenant. No advancement, no progress. I remember thinking you were punished for something. Now my crew is being left out to dry, you break Natalie's heart and suddenly you are advancing the ranks again. So you wanted me to be left here alone? You didn't trust me around the rest of my crew? No, I wouldn't be left alone with you if I didn't trust you that much. Hendrix is here? Indeed. My point stands, I just want to get the answer from you without you worrying about whether secrets you want to keep from being spilled. Why would I tell you? I'm afraid Miley did not think that far ahead. I suspect she let her passions for her best friend drive her towards a desperate gamble. Replace that he, and that's basically an accurate assessment. You might have been a Draymond, but your honesty, caring, and support were the best things I could have asked for in someone Natalie was falling in love with. I don't want to think I meant that big of a misjudgment. Part of the code of being a warrior is honesty. You are honest because no matter how far you fly or how hard you run, the truth of what you have done will always be there. You can't outrun your past. Not even me. No matter how fast I've flown, the truth of what I've done has always rolled on my back. Okay. And now, it still sits there like a reminder of why I must always be a true warrior, even if that means I must walk a different path from the one I thought could fill the void left by Akura's death. Yeah, I was once part of a special investigation tactic office. Commander Chatak, Commander Wilhelm, and myself were the first section commanders. Together with the blessing of the board of directors, we formed a special agency to address the growing number of problems in the force. You formed it? You formed that agency? Don't look at me like that. We are going to be the shield that protect the rest of the force from dangers that the regular military couldn't adapt to combat. We are going to be warriors. But that's not what happened. Razolo might have overacted Natalie, but any commander would be put on guard when a member of IDHAS Inquisition appears. We're supposed to operate independently, so commanders like Razona wouldn't stop us from trying to save lives, just like she did. We finally had the power to do what we needed to be done. But power corrupts. Power corrupts the undisciplined. Power corrupts those without the strength of heart to wield it for the good of others. All you had to do was stay true to the pillars of being a dream warrior and you could resist the temptation. Are you sure of that, my dear? Positive, because when you are weak like me, it ends up making you do things you'll always carry with you. The heavier your heart got, the stronger you had to keep carrying it around. And one day I broke. I was given a choice of saving my team or letting thousands of innocent people die when their space station's orbit was destabilized and sent to the planet it orbited. My dear, you can't possibly talk about the new wild disaster. Yup, I had to make a choice to launch my shuttle and recover my team before they froze in the depths of space, or abandon them and use my shuttle to ram the station far enough out to buy time to allow rescue forces to arrive. It was just like in the scriptures, a team of warriors sacrificing themselves for great good. I shouldn't have hesitated, but my junior partner pleaded and begged for me to save them. In the end, I was too scared to let them die, to sacrifice myself in a ram. I thought of all the things I wanted to steal and do, and I said that I wanted to live. But you can't wash blood from your tail, and mine means soaked in it. My partner told me I did the right thing and she'd own me forever. Even today, she still makes this disgrace for her life. We rescued one of the most important figures in the Katajion directorship that day. Without her, we would have never been this close to finally ending the war. You traded down for billions that day. I killed innocence for my own selfishness. There you go. That's why I can't stay here. That's why I can't be punished. Every day I live is atonement for the terrible choice I made that day. That's why you can't stay around Natalie anymore, huh? Because she faced the same decision you think you did, and she wouldn't walk the path you wanted for her. The path she needed to walk. And here I was thinking you were at least not as stupid as the rest of us. What does that mean? You can't equate lives to simple currency. You can't just kill bad guys to make up for the good guys whom they killed. Killing doesn't bring back all the friends and wingmen who wear the shields to my fighter. Every day is a new situation. If you run from her, if you keep running from yourself and who you want to be, will you ever have anything other than lost opportunity? You want to be a warrior, sir. Tell me who you are protecting right now. Natalie's down there looking for a lost man to save. You're up here preparing to run away again. Who meets your definition of a warrior? It's not what you've done, it is what you do that shapes the future for all those lives you touch. I'm taking up. Hendrix, I'm authorizing you temporary access to the ship controls. Even if it's outside standard operating procedures, wake me up. Certainly, there are currently 15,822 sensors with data that is outside of standard operating. If anything new or wildly out of standards, with the standards being the ship's status right now, wake me up. Of course. Robots. Forgive my lady, she only means the best for you. Sure. If you need anything, I shall monitor the speaker system. Thanks. By your leave, I must go attend my lady's bedside. Okay, I'll be here. Lieutenant, who do you want to protect? Who do you want to protect? The innocent people, that's why I'm here. Right. I know why not what Natalie wants to protect. Scholars only want to protect their ideas and themselves. She just wants to protect herself, just like the rest of those Saito. They're right, I'm a terrible liar. Looking down at the green planet below me, I can't help but wonder if she's looking up and thinking about me as well. Kika, back to Kika. Do you know what I hate? Bugs. I also hate loads of walking. Crashed spaceships are pretty bad as well. Hot days are almost as terrible. Lodging heavy stretchers is not what I'd call fun either. Basically, do you know what I hate? My life at the moment. My arms have never been this sore. Alphonse is going on a due of the universe diet when we get back. The whole of it always makes these things seem so light, but this is just back-breaking agony. Between him, his stretcher, and the bag of supplies on my bag that we scavenged, I feel like a bajillion pounds. Amazed I don't just go through the ground to the planet's core. My tail drags through the dirt and grime, making it the dirtiest it has ever been. Ever? Okay. I felt something moving on it, so I probably now have an entire colony of creepy spiders living on me. If I was Faye, I'd probably be a ring right now. Then again, if I was Faye, this would be paradise for me. I love the girl, but I swear I'll never stand her love of being sweaty and smelly. I would comment on something, but I think I'd rather not. Okay, she needs me, but I'm starting to fade out. I know I can go further and can press myself harder, but I'm starting to lose the drive forward. When Blade was with me during survival week in the academy, I moved mountains to in pursuit of making it to all the checkpoints in time. Now I just want to give up. I never had to do stupid labor day like this before. I decided that joining up would be a good idea. All I ever had to do was look pretty for the media and talk about how I want to make the universe a better place alongside my parents. If I would have never joined these sweepers, I would have been back home. Maybe I could have stopped them from taking the shuttle and saved the lives of those closest to me. It's so awesome, I can't believe I'm here! I can't believe I'm here either. This is a rare occurrence. Even for you, Lieutenant Star. Rare and yet all too common at the same time. Then we got really lucky, didn't we? I turn around and see the fading sunlight reflecting off face beaming with just as much natural brightness. You're having fun? You bet, madam! That's everything I could have asked for and more. You stopped. Do you want to take a break? I nodded sharply, words fading at me at the moment. We sat down opposite who gives out at the ground, and immediately my arms felt slightly better. This is what you wanted? Yeah! I mean, not a crash shot engine Major, madam. I don't want that. Overseas everyone got out alright and the Major is only a little hurt. I collapsed against a nice fig tree. Sitting never felt so good. You're confusing me and I'm too tired to figure it out. When I told my parents that I was going to join up with the space sector to be pilot, they weren't very supportive. They told me they supported my decision, but I always get the impression that I was a disappointing daughter to them. I think it was my final year of junior captain that they brought in all these people to tell us about their jobs. My friends and I were just walking around the various stations, not paying attention. We all were planning on being voice actors in animated Holovitz. I would love to do that, why not? That's when I saw her. Propped up against the table was this beautiful elf with wavy lime green hair that dropped down to her neck. She was wearing this tight jumpsuit of shiny black fabric and red hexagonal patterned sides, and I know who you are talking about. Sounds like a standard flight suit. I know, now it was, but it just looked so amazing. I couldn't see her eyes for she had these awesome sunglasses on that reflected everything. Confident just radiated from her, and I knew right then and there that she was the type of person I want to be. I want to be a badass pilot who didn't have a care. I was always indecisive, and everyone could talk me into doing something. It was the first time I ever knew exactly what I wanted. Are you sure it wasn't just lust? Maybe, madam. All I knew was that woman stood for everything in my life I never had. I realized I wanted excitement and adventure. So I put in my application that day. My friends and family tried to talk me out of it, but I wouldn't hear it. They told me I would just get blown up on my first mission or end up as some cargo pilot who never did anything. But here I am on a weird world with my new crew and adventure. Everyone said it wouldn't happen, but it did. It really did. We might have broke a shuttle and the Major got injured, but nobody has died and we are fun that none of my friends will ever get to experience. That's a pretty silly thinking. I know, I just believe that they may have been right, but not now. So innocent, so optimistic. But so right in her thinking, I came here to be here and make a difference. That's right, your first real mission is to save lives, and that's what we are going to do. But I think we may have to make this mission a two-parter. It's getting dark. It's fine, ma'am, I can see quite well in the dark. It's not how well we can see, don't worry about. Once it gets dark, Faye immediately heads to bed. She'll find a nice little hole to snuggle up in and we will never find her. If the others are with her as well, it might be easier, but I'd still rank our chances of finding them much lower than our chances of finding trouble. But what sort of adventure doesn't have a little trouble? A safe one. Let's set up for the night. Yes, then maybe we'll be lucky and they'll stumble upon us. That's the optimism I like to see. How's your water supply? I'm running a low. That makes two of us. My bottle has been empty for the last hour. I have an amazing idea. Why don't you work on trying to turn these tarps into tents while I go fill up the poles at the river? Perfect idea. She can do all the manual labor that I think would just about finish me off right now. I go fill up empty and then fill up my cute Giro bottle. Then I'll turn these emergency rations into something that will thrill the senses and get a good night's rest under the stars. Haha, perfect, Kika. I'm not sure that's a good idea. So close. Maybe I can pull rankets to get it done my way. Why is that? I think it's a perfect idea. I've just got this weird feeling. Oh, just a weird feeling? I would do something serious. My parents always told me to trust in those feelings and I've always been safe whenever I had. It's called hunches. I've been all that time they're always right. Maybe I come from a superstitious African heritage, so ignore me. That's right, I'm the one who should go fill up the water. I need a rest for my weary arms more than she does. Anyone else has the feeling that the animals that, well, the others met earlier might be near the river or something like that? Because that's the hunch I get at the moment, and well, it wouldn't be really too good if what I'm thinking would come true. So So yeah, I'm a little worried. I really am a little worried about the situation we are going to be in, or something like that. I'll keep that in mind. If something wrong should happen, you can count me to take care of it. Will do. She hands me her canteen that is not nearly as good or awesome as mine. Seriously, she is still using the one they gave you in your initial issue of equipment. I threw that thing in a box and forgot about it the moment I got it. I'm mentally impressed that she wants to have adventures. That's the first step towards being the heroine of legend like me. As I stride down towards where we saw the river, I don't hold back the grin that overtakes my face. I could have been wrong about Flight Officer Brianni. She might not make a good minion like Faye, but should make a perfectly good apprentice hero. All of the good superheroes have young sidekicks. Turtleman and Snapping Boy, Hulker and the Ranger, Electric Queen had an entire band of followers? Who? I thought a good team of minions would solve all the stupid little things while I focus on the big ones, but having someone to help me focus on the big ones might just be the best idea I ever had. So would have made a decent one, but he just had to go get himself promoted again and again. I have at least one rank up on Brianni, so she can do it. I can train her and she'll make an amazing officer and heroine. And the first thing we can do as part of her training when we get back is to dump this standard issue scrap stuff and get her a real canteen. I'll introduce her to all of my favorite shows and we'll find something that fits her perfectly. My hands deep down into cool water, my thoughts are so full of happiness and joy that I don't even remember to be paranoid of touching slimy fish. This is the first time I've truly been happy since Commander Asum delivered that real message. I keep hearing my parents' voices calling out to me about betrayal. But not right now. I realize I can hear Brian and Faye's voices much clearer. They are talking to me about all of the marvelous things we are going to do when we get away from this dirty, smelly land of trees and dirt. Even by the river, the land of dirty, trampled grass still reigns supreme. Trampled grass? A little band of concerned infiltrates my diversion. Right at this point the grass is thinner and trampled down to a path. If I were to guess, it is a fairly large animal trail and led to this water. It's okay, it's probably just some sort of big damp slope. Nothing to be worried about. I'll probably get to see them soon as they come to drink from this soothing pool before starting or ending in their very hands. Oh, who am I kidding? With my luck today, they're going to be a bunch of ravenous carnivores. I love being right, just not in this particular case. They're adorable. I was thinking I was going to get attacked by a bunch of stinky beasts and instead of being approached by a trio of lovable cats. But I recognized the way they got their ears pulled back and teeth bared. I've only seen it once before when I tried to supplement my dinner with part of face. They are displeased with the actions of a born heroine and tried to bite my handful, liberating their stuff. What did that show say about what to do if you were attacked by wild animals? I was hit them in the nose because they are the most sensitive there. That's right, this is one of those moments where they try to assert dominance and I need to strike back. They know they aren't allowed to mess with Gigastar. On the one, the middle is went towards me. He must be the big boss cat, the alpha cat dog. Well, unfortunately for him, he is facing down the greatest kitsune the universe has ever seen. But he does have the high ground. It would help him much, but it does make this less of a fair fight. I should draw to better ground away from them. I'm not away, I'm just going to relocate. This isn't cowardly, it is tactical. Wait, what are you doing? Using your friends completely cheating? I tried to act outraged and flustered, but I am more concerned than anything. The second I told them the damn wildcats who don't understand that I was going to reposition, they reacted and blocked my route. There's no way they should have understood me, but they did. Not only that, but they were smart enough to deploy an encircling trap to counter it. This isn't right. These aren't your garden variety wild animals. Thank goodness I'm not your garden variety kitsune. Bring it, you stupid cat. It bolts forward straight at me, fast, but I've played bullet hells worse than this. Good one. If I'm going to do this, I need to do this right. I match him running straight up the hill at him. Most people would call me crazy, but I know what I'm doing. Like I knew would happen, the poor scrap jumps that makes the flying gliders be. I tuck and rolls trying to sidestep, but that blade would always complain about when I played versus in-time jockers too. Everyone mocked me for investing so much time into such an old game, but it taught me everything I need to know about leaping enemies with the high ground. Now I have the high ground and they had to come at me to get booked into the nose. Victory is basically assured from this point. But I wasn't expecting them being smart enough to use their own tactics. I was counting on them yapping away after pounding their lid's nose in. They might still want to fight using dirty group tactics. Brandy isn't too far away. It would still be 3 versus 2, but I can easily go 2-on-1. But that would put her in danger. I trained thousands of hours in fighting games. She doesn't have that sort of experience. It would also be giving up this high ground that I tricked them into giving me. If I go back, we'd have to find them on even ground, and that might be enough to get Brandy injured, maybe even kill her. I don't want to lose my new apprentice before I've gotten a chance to get to know her better. Low-level characters never get any experience if you don't bring them into a few battles. Since I've basically already won this one, I think it would be a smart idea to let her get some of my experience. My feet pound against the grass as I dart back towards the camp, not too far behind me. I hear the faint noises of my new best friends trying to catch up. Even with my hearing, it is hard to pick them up. Now I can't help but wonder if they've already attacked Brianni. My hearing is top notch no matter what face says, but if they attack her as soon as they move, I might not have heard it. No, she's fine. Brianni! Lieutenant! Good, she's close to reacting. I turn back to see how the cat's. He's on top of me. I can feel the breath of the nape of my neck. Pain stabbing through my back has closed again. I can die, not here, not like this. I struggle against the wave of the monstrous beast, but he has me firmly pinned down. He's laying down, teeth ready to sink into my unprotected neck. No! Stay away from my lieutenant! I expect those to be the final words I hear, but eternal darkness does not take me away. Instead, I feel the crushing wave on my back lighten. Lieutenant, are you alright? Hello, called up, but how fine? They're just sitting there. Meow. Oh, you meow at her, but you try and maul me. Glare at me, all you want is to be the end. I'll glare right back at you. Where did you find them? I didn't find them. They stumbled on me when I was trying to fill up the water. Then they decided that it would be fun to pick up fire they couldn't handle. Hush! I don't take the story here. He pounds the ground with outstretched claws, but I won't be intimidated by some dumb feline that thought he could take me on. He's so cute! Don't tell him. What is it with everyone I know thinking white llamas are their fizzy friends? Listen, he's purring! So he isn't just a murderous football, he's smart enough to understand what I'm saying and how to manipulate the young co-pilot with so fair. Eshala Khan? Here? Oh, hey Sleephead, how are you feeling? Have I returned? No, we're still among the living. Do you think a simple shell crash would be enough to kill me? Then why has a spirit? There's no spirit, it is a big dumb tree of kitty cats who seems to think Bran is going to give them treats. Like cruel guards, 2 of the cats are sitting on their long haunches, a little ways back, but the one that thought he could take me is rubbing up against Brian and purring. Suck up who's trying to steal my new apprentice. Go back to sleep, Alphazi, we'll wake you up. After we get the camp set up and I figure out how to make these survival bag meals. Thank you, Kika. Don't thank me, the only reason I'm doing this is so you'll be strong enough to walk tomorrow. Of course. His eyes drift away from me back to our feline friends, and the glaze that covered them is quickly replaced by a piercing stare easily as grumpy as souls. Whatever those things are worries him enough to restore his weak focus. But as he starts to home in on them, it fades away and his eyes close. Only so much juice in his battery despite having been carried by someone as important as me all day. Shalakan, huh? I get the feeling he didn't intend for me to understand the term, but my mother was very keen on me learning the ancient Chazari language. When most kids got to play outside, I had to sit there and learn that language. I'm glad I did so. Not only does it make me so much more geek than other lowly scrubs, but it has paid off twice, putting up a second tally on the scoreboard of things only Kikastart could understand. It was a weird term for an order of guardians of their ancient temples. I couldn't find any specifics about their order though, so I assumed they must have been a bunch of old dudes with fancy spears. Alphonse seems to think a bunch of cats fit the bill and that they are his weird religion spirits. Clearly he took a harder blow to the head than I previously diagnosed. For it would be easy to completely dismiss it as the ravings of a madman. These are some very old one-time mouths. They understood what I said. They performed combat tactics to counter me, and they are smart enough to use their cuteness against me. I need more evidence to understand what's going on here. Something is off, and it is my sworn duty as the hero protagonist of the Nimross to discover it and slay the boss at the end of this encounter. Brandy, we need to finish making the ramp. Yes, madam. Randy, you want to help? No. You named him? Did I? I just felt his name was read somehow. No. Interesting. Very interesting. I have an idea, Altant. It's a good one. Ren, could you please hunt us down a wild goose or something else to make for the dinner? The cat gives a curt nod, further proving my suspicions that I really need to look more into these cats after we find Faye. If I can hunt down dinner, if I can hunt down Faye and the others. That's brilliant! I know, it was one of my ideas after all. But you have to tell them not to eat our fellow crewmen. I didn't think of that. You don't think they think of Faye's dinner, do you? That's why you have to run your ideas by leadership before implementing them. I'm sorry, I just got excited that I was going to be able to help. It's probably going to be okay, this is why I want you to learn from me and let me be your mentor. Yeah, I'd like that, madam. Take that, stupid cats. But I hope I didn't just let her put Faye and the others at risk. Well, we'll see about that maybe. But not in this episode, but probably in the next one. Well, I wonder what those cats will basically... what the story of the cats will be about. Well, for now, hope you enjoyed it and... see you in the next one. Bye bye. I'm hitting the bed. End of pre-recording for today. And... yeah. Good night. Bye bye.